What's up guys, it's your boy, still needs an intro, and today we're going to be making a plexiglass engine cover. Now yes, this video is in fact about this long, and guess what? You're going to watch all of it because you love me almost as much as I hate myself for putting me through this. So let's flash back 3 weeks to when I started this project. Alright, plexiglass is acquired for a whopping $13 thanks to my employee discount. But you see here, I have a 18 by 24 inch piece. What I'm going to do with the engine cover is set it on top of here. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to make an outline, and then underneath of the engine cover, you can see it has tabs holding in the silver part in place. So those will be good guide holes for where I'm going to drill the holes in the plexiglass, and then I can get some nuts and bolts to hold it in place. Now the nuts on the back side are 11/16, so I'm going to loosen those up really quick and then take off this foam part here. And if we flip this back over like so, it should. Right, and then this comes off like so. You can see it was glued to the back side of the foam piece. So now I'm going to attempt to flip this back over and take the foam part out. Now to dispose of all of this heat-soaking material the proper way. Next up, I'm going to take a pencil. I'm going to come and draw a rough outline of where I'm going to end up cutting it. And the thing that I'm going to try and keep in mind is I need to keep this post here, this hole here, even though the line would cut across it. And if we come down here, I need this post. So I'm probably going to end up coming just up and around and then cutting through here. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get that drawn up really quick, and I'll let you know where that's at. Alright, I have marked up the cuts that I'm going to make, and I made sure to keep all of the stock holes. Same thing, different day. I got, for the most part, all of the middle stuff taken out. If you take a look at the bottom here, what I ended up doing was taking a hacksaw in the cross sections of it, and I cut through those, and then I took a just regular utility knife, and I cut somewhat close to the lines that I had drawn up, and then I put it on a hard edge like so with a pair of pliers. I'm gonna grab these really quick with a pair of pliers, and then I put the line on the hard edge like that, and I would just grab it and broke it. So next is going to be just simply filing down all of this excess to get the lines to where I need them. And here you can see, after some finessing with a Dremel, it almost looks like it came out of the factory like this. Again, I tried keeping the edge here for the tower that kind of comes down. And then I tried keeping this edge here since the line would have cut through this. So next is going to be getting the plexiglass marked up where I need it cut, and then where the holes need to be cut. So what I did now is I took the engine cover part of it and I flipped it upside down, and I set it on there like this, and I made an outline. And then here we have the Lowe's Special, the Dremel 3000. And so I'm just going to take the cutting wheel attachment and start going along the outside of this. So here we have I've got about a 1-inch border all the way around it. What I'm gonna do is kind of start taking off little by little and hopefully get it to get pretty close to fitting anyway. We're getting there. We're pretty close to the line. We come down here to the engine cover. It's like right there, basically. We need to pretty much just cut to the line and make sure it fits. So I've kind of gone back and forth on this, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I'm finally deciding to trim down this little piece that the original engine cover sat on. It's just a little plastic lip, but if I trim that down, I'll be able to have it set inside of this lip on the side here, rather than sitting just on top. So I think it'll give it a little bit cleaner look. It'll kind of set flush with the rest of the engine cover, and I think in the end it'll actually turn out nicer. So I'm going to trim these down, and then it's got this and this here, and I'll let you know how that turns out. So it actually turned out a lot nicer than I thought it was going to. So basically what I did is I just ground it down and then I feathered it out a little. Same thing here, I just kind of ground out a little outside of where I needed it to, and then I took basically just like a fine stone attachment. I took the spots where it was kind of high, and then I just basically feathered it out to where it's super duper smooth all the way around. So now from here, I think the best thing to do is go ahead and just scuff up the rest of it with sandpaper and make it all even. And that right there is it's almost what we need. I've been coming up here kind of test fitting it, and you can see it's a little wide. Same thing down here at the bottom, it's a little wider than it needs to be. But I think if I just go ahead and go through the red line on the outside here all along the edge, that'll be pretty much where I need it. All this next part is going to be tedious fine trimming, just to get it to set down in there a little better. And for this being a $70 Dremel kit with all of this stuff in it, this thing rocks. I dig it. The Dremel 3000, which sounds like such a fake name, I highly recommend. Here you can see, there's pretty much no gap all the way around it. Sits in there nice and snug. There's a little gap up there in the corner, but that'll be in the very back of the engine bay. This front and side section is what I was more worried about than anything. And that's exactly how I wanted it to be. It makes me super happy. So next is going to be actually marking the holes where I need to drill with the drill bit. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 holes in total. So I'm gonna mark those up and get to drilling. And this right here is what it would have looked like if I hadn't broke it on the corner. And of course it broke right here when I only had 3 holes left. But now you can kind of get a picture of the idea of it anyway. So we're gonna head back up to Lowe's and buy another sheet, and we're gonna actually buy a proper drill bit so that we can cut through the acrylic a little better. So I'm going to take this as a positive more than anything and just say that the first go around was learning how to use a Dremel. So we've got it mocked up on the second piece of plexiglass, and I'm going to take the utility knife and cut around it here so we can have extra plexiglass for if we need it in the future. So I'm going to get that cut out really quick. And we're back to this phase where all that's left is just kind of chipping away at the small stuff. And I'd just have to say, it's coming along pretty great. So this has been the most effective way I can tell to not get all of the molten plexiglass all over me. But I got this piece cut up to where it's supposed to be. If I flip the camera around really quick, you can see it fits in there nice and snug. It's actually a way better fit than the last one because you can see there's no gap here like there was, and there's no gap up top. So I'm going to take a little bit of a mental break so I don't kill anything, but next step is going to be drilling these holes, and I'm going to have to try and find a more effective way to do that. Right, and we're back to where we were before. So this time I've taken some extra precaution and done some practice holes, and you can see that these turned out really clean, especially these top two here. The best one by far is probably this hole right there in the middle. Both of these actually. But this was on low speed with dish soap. And you can see that the walls of the hole are really nice, and there's not any burrs on the edges. Like this one, it's a really nice round hole, but this was on high speed, so what it ended up doing is melting the plexiglass, and you can see it's got a lip on it, and we don't want a lip. So what I'm going to do is tape the edges down first, and then I'm actually going to flip over the engine cover so that I can drill through the top, but I'll still be able to see the holes through the bottom that I need. So I'll kind of use that to guide me. So wish me luck, and hopefully I don't crack it again. All right, got her cleaned up and dried off. So I'm gonna take off this first layer. This is the clear layer, so that I can take off the white-ish transparent layer for like a grand reveal. So I'm going to take this out to the garage and get it on top of the engine cover. Alright, here's the grand reveal to see if all those hours and hours of labor were worth the look. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, I cannot. Oh my goodness, I can hardly contain my excitement for this. It turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. Let me get this last little bit of plexiglass dust off of there, and then I'll throw my hardware that I bought on it, and we'll see what it looks like. And it looks so sweet on top of the engine. I'm super happy with the way this turned out. I only had a little bit of a hiccup. You can see that the hole wasn't quite aligned on the very front ones. But I'm honestly so sick of mixing with this plexiglass that I'm just gonna drill out the plastic that's in the way. I'm not even gonna try and mess with re-drilling the hole or anything like that. For the millionth time, I am super happy with the way this turned out. Honestly, if you look around on the internet, there aren't very many examples that I could see of this. The only reason I thought of this in the first place is because of a fellow member on a Facebook group that I'm part of. So I really appreciate what he had to offer for me, because it's just so freaking cool. I love it. And so what I did for hardware is I bought carriage bolts to almost give it like a riveted look to it. So I'm just super happy with how it looks. I've never seen anything like it before. So on top of that, it was relatively cheap. The only thing that it really cost me was my sanity, sweat, and tears. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like, share it with your friends. If you'd consider subscribing, click over here. If you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch next, click over here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you guys next time.